Hi, everyone. Welcome back to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. And today I have two beautiful ladies here with me. I have Michele Lewane and Sara Busch, right? Okay,
Yes,
we had the names discussion. So just give a quick introduction, who you are, what your background is, and then what kind of led you all into doing workers' comp law?
Okay, my name is Michele Lewane, and I have been practicing law for about 30 plus years since 1989. And it wasn't a class, workers' compensation wasn't a class or anything you learned. But when I went after law school, I clerked at the Court of Appeals in Virginia for 1 year. And at that time, the Court of Appeals had three types of law they did: domestic, criminal, and workers' comp. So when that position, you do that for a year after law school. So after I finished that, that's what I started doing was domestic, criminal, and workers' comp. And so for several years, I had partners, and that was the type of law I did. And eventually, I started solely doing workers' comp. And then in 2008, my husband had been in sales his whole life and some what you would call marketing. And he had been doing stuff on the side marketing for us. So we decided to go out completely on our own at that time and started Injured Workers Law Firm doing workers' comp in 2008. So now that's been 16 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes, it's been like yesterday, I was thinking it was a roller coaster ride, but if I look at it over 16 years, it's been pretty smooth, nice, growing,
Yep.
and it's a nice feeling. But if I look at, what happened this week, it's like, oh my.
I think that's always the ups and downs with a lot of any business you're in. But it's like my dad always says, it's always ugly before it gets pretty.
Yes.
No matter how bad your day starts off, I feel like at the end of it, you're like, oh, okay. It started off rough, but it was a pretty productive day.
Yes.
I got a lot done. I'm going to count this as a win.
Yes, and I was thinking about that. It's nice to look at it with that perspective.
Yep.
That you have achieved a lot, even though you might not see the little micro step you made today or this week. When you look at it overall, it's been a big step.
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for positive thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that are not familiar with workers' comp, give me a little explanation about what it is and what it all entails.
Okay, we help injured workers get the insurance workers' compensation benefits when they get hurt on the job. And so a lot of people get it confused, like with auto accidents, thinking they're suing their employer. And really what it is they are claiming, if they're hurt on the job, they lift a box, hurt their shoulder, they are getting medical care and lost wages for that time they are out of work, and the insurance company is paying for it because, like auto insurance, the employer has been paying monthly premiums for this insurance for their employers.
Wonderful. So, like, for example, a contractor
Yes.
who has employees, they fall off the roof. Perfect. Wonderful.
They have wages and they have medical care. Now, the system, unfortunately, has gotten more and more complicated and more excluding the employer. Excluding the employee. So, like if you say, I don't know why I fell, it will not be covered under workers' comp. So there's many exceptions and exclusions, but it is what's called a no-fault system. So if it's your fault that you got hurt, your employer's fault, a coworker ran you over with the forklift, that none of that matters. It's okay. You were hurt at work.
Perfect.
You get 2/3 of your wages, and you get the medical care.
Because accidents happen, right?
Yes.
And so whether or
Yes.
not you did it on purpose or if it was...
Well, if you did it on purpose, that'd be scary.
How do you determine that?
Well, one exception, which kind of is like that, is if you willfully violate a safety rule. So if the rule is don't be drunk at work, and everybody knows that, and you
very
come
obvious
to
one.
work drunk and you fall off the roof, and then the doctor's blood results say it's something outrageously high, your blood alcohol level, then obviously you would not be covered. But if it's something like, well, I told you not to do blankety blank, that's very vague, and that's you probably would be covered, because you'd be saying, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do it this way,
And sometimes we're human, we forget.
Exactly.
There's a safety rule that we kind of skip over because we're on a time schedule and we forget.
Right. And it's what you call natural mistakes.
Yep.
And so anybody's natural mistake or a coworker's natural mistake, are covered under workers' comp.
Perfect. Wonderful.
So, and you do in Virginia, which is a very good thing, you have what's called lifetime medical benefits. And we are also blessed in Virginia to have excellent orthopedic doctors. We have lots of doctors, but most people who get hurt at work are dealing with orthopedic doctors, and I do believe almost all of them throughout the whole state are really good. So you should be getting good care. It's not like, you're going to some whack doctor that you will get good care under it. There's again tons of exceptions, tons of problems with workers' comp, but in general, they're very good doctors. And then if it's a clear-cut case, you're going to get 2/3 of your lost wages while you're out of work. Then your employer might let you come back light duty, or maybe you're back at work full duty, and then that's the end of your claim.
What's a case that you had that really kind of made your entire career memorable? That was like, okay, now I remember why I'm doing this.
Actually, I have many, but I have this one guy that I remember very clearly. He was probably 18 or 19 when it happened, and he was working with 3 other people, and it was a wet day, and they were supposed to use those long extension ladders to clean out the gutters on a apartment complex. And it was like a wet day, and what happened was they're lifting this heavy thing, and somehow it hits an electrical power line, and the golf course that was next door, their surveillance saw it or videotaped it and saw the horrible explosion, and some people died. And my client, because when you are electrocuted, it comes out of your body parts, like out of your hands, out of your arms. So he completely lost one arm, like between the elbow and the arm. The other hand, he lost most of his fingers, and it was basically non-functional, and he lost half a foot. And they denied the claim because the employer was saying, I told them not to go up there and do that. Well, obviously, who else? Why were they there? Why did they have the thing? And it wasn't lightning or pouring down rain. It was just like one of those wet spring days and so forth. So we fought it for a long time and actually got an excellent result for him. But it was like your own child, that this travesty has happened to them. And it was just no way I was going to let them try to take advantage of this kid.
He also didn't speak English, correct?
And he did not speak English. And he did not have much family, so we had people in our office who speak Spanish, so we would help him that way. But just trying to explain workers' comp to him, and then unfortunately, his doctor released him to light duty of no use of, I can't remember if it was left hand or right hand, but no use of left hand over 1 pound, which is returning him to work, when I just told you he had no other hand on the other side. So he was really out there, and I was, doing a little bit more than I would normally do, like researching prosthetics and researching different things to like make sure we got him where he could have a life, because he was just trying to be a hard worker, and it was this devastating event that happened to him. So that's been several years, but we still keep in touch a little bit. So it's nice to know it. You feel good that it did work. Like the work effort did help.
So that brings me to a question that I always ask, because you all are accredited, right?
Yes.
It comes to a question that I always ask the accredited businesses, because your story alone proves that you uphold the values that we have at the BBB, which is honesty, integrity, respect, and we start with trust. What made you all decide you wanted to be an accredited business?
Pretty much for that, we have core values in our office that we promote within, meaning we acknowledge people when they are, customer first. Like you said, trust, do the right thing, empathy, hardworking. All of those are core values for our law firm. And the BBB also does that. You know what I mean? Like those are the types of businesses y'all talk about. So that is why it's just one more way to let the public know that we do live by those values.
I love it. So my final question, how can people get in contact with you?
Many ways. Injured Workers Law Firm is the name of the law firm. Our phone number is 804-755-7755. And really, one of the most important things I think we did several years ago is we wrote a book on workers' comp.
Wow.
So you don't really, sometimes many people might not need a lawyer. Like, again, let's say everything is going real easy, you're going to go back to work, but you just want to make sure this one little thing is correct. So people can call that number or go on our website, order our free book, and they can get it so they can know about workers' comp. And if they would need a lawyer, they can call us as well.
I love that. I love that extra mile. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you, Michele and Sara,
You're
again,
welcome.
for visiting me and coming in here to talk to everyone. Make sure to, if you're listening on Spotify, you follow, you like, and you subscribe. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe, and share it out to people. Get the word out there. I know it doesn't sound like they're PSAs, but people get scammed every day, and we want to know about the accredited businesses that come in here and really live up to those values that I mentioned. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Bye.